Hello divine souls, welcome back to my channel, my corner of the internet, where we are pink and proud. Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about dating men in your 20s, the truth, what you need to know, questions you need to ask, who you need to be, what you need to do. Serious business, girlies. So let's keep watching. Yes, I have pulled out the PowerPoints because I really want to get this message inside your pink little brains. Number one, they will try to manipulate you. If you let them, they will try to manipulate you. Right here on the screen, we have Boo Boo the Fool. Remember my video I did a while ago? What did we say? I am not Boo Boo the Fool. This is Boo Boo the Fool. Don't be her. They will try to manipulate you, and you might not know it. If you don't know it, then you shouldn't be dating them, because they will try it. Because they're going to expect you to be young and naive. They're going to expect you to not know any better. You have to be smart, but don't think that you are smarter than them, because they are older, so they've probably seen some things. And honestly, if they are being manipulated, they probably want to be. And if you want to be manipulated, go ahead, boo. Hey, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. One thing about a man is that he will always have the audacity. He will always have the audacity to try it. Therefore, if you're dating an older guy, you're going to have to figure out how he is manipulating you and figure out how to use that against him, how to turn it around. So if he thinks you don't know any better, what I want you to do is play into that. Play into it. Don't reveal your hand. Don't tell him, oh, I'm smart. You can't manipulate me. Or I know better. Or I've seen that before. Don't tell him that. If he thinks you're dumb, let him think you're dumb. One thing that I have learned in my little old life, you don't need to prove that you are smart to people. In fact, let them think that you are a little mentally challenged. Let them think that you really don't know. That way you're flipping it around. Like, oh, this girl is so dumb. That's what I want you to think. I think in my last video that I was talking about, that I made like a year ago about this topic, it was that being smart or letting people know that you're smart really doesn't get you much places. In the workplace, people will just try to compete with you more if you let them know that you're smart. So yeah, maybe let them think you don't know how to do something, because they're going to help you. They're going to help you, they're going to show you, they're going to teach you, and they're going to be more compassionate towards you. If you present yourself like you already know everything, or like you're already smart, they're not going to want to help you, and they're probably going to try to sabotage you, to humble you. You know, people love to humble women. People love to humble women. Therefore, don't even give them the chance. Let them think you don't know any better. And when you're young, it's really easy because they already expect it from you. When you're older, they might not expect it from you, but when you're younger especially, you have to prove them that you're not dumb. But instead of trying to do that, let him think that. That's how you can flip it around. So he's trying to manipulate you because he thinks you're dumb, but you're like, I'm letting you think that, and I'm getting what I can get. So come on, keep thinking that. Anyway, number two. These are questions that you might want to ask yourself internally, or him, but I would start definitely with yourself. Ask yourself these questions when you are dating older men. It will give you a lot of insight on the relationship and how you want to proceed and work it. Because as I say, if you're dating someone older than you, there needs to be a reason. Because you can date anyone you want your age. So if you're purposely going to date men that are 10, 20, 30 years older than you, there needs to be a reason. Because if not, you're wasting your youth with them. Get yourself a cute guy or an older one with some benefits. First question you need to ask, why is he single? Why is this man single? If this guy is in his 40s and you're in your 20s, ask, why is he single? Because at his age, lots of people already have been married or are married, or they have children. If he doesn't, there's probably a reason for that. And you need to ask yourself, why? What is wrong with you? That's what you're asking him. What is wrong with him? Seriously, because there must be something. Of course, he might just have been focused on his career. If he's a career man, doctor or something, then like, yeah, sure, it makes sense. Even if he is still at that point, people be in school and still be having girlfriends and wives. So that's not really an excuse, but just really ask yourself this question, why is he single? And don't let anything cloud your judgment here. Don't let any money or attractiveness cloud your judgment. If he's single at that age, he probably has some issues. You need to figure out what those issues are and use them to your advantage. Because come on now. Number 3, do you really like him and can you do better? The answer is you probably can do better. I'm sure you can do better. The reason why you're asking this question is because sometimes dating older guys can be irritating. Honestly, it's just as irritating to date a guy similar to your age and a guy that's older than you, because men are men and men can be irritating. So you have to figure out if it's worth it to you. For example, if he's not that cute and you don't really like going out with him because you don't want people to see you with him, think about, is that something you want to do? The answer is different for everyone. I have went out with guys that are older than me, and I'm always aware that people are going to judge me for that. People are automatically going to think negatively of me when they see me with an older guy who is clearly not my grandpa, because we're not the same skin complexion and obviously we're not related. So they're automatically going to go to that whole sugar baby thing. So yeah, when you're dating an older guy, people are going to judge you automatically, and you have to figure out if that is worth it to you or if you can do better. Like, don't settle, especially if you are beautiful and talented and intelligent. You don't really have to deal with guys you don't want to deal with. So ask yourself, is it even worth it, or do I just want to date someone closer to my own age? If you want to, that's totally fine. Number 4, what is his intention? Look, I know this is kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, but seriously, why is this man even attracted to you? Why is this man even dating someone who is 20 or 10 years younger than him? What is his intention there? Because there always is one. There always is one. So that's something that you have to ask yourself or him. What's your intention here, buddy? What do you want from this? What do you want from me? Story time. I had a man who I was friends with. We're not friends anymore because for some reason he said I was too much for him. He kept asking me what my intention was with him. First of all, he was the one who initiated the whole friendship. But he's sitting here asking me, what's your intention here? What's your intention here? I think he was projecting. Firstly, you're asking me this question every time we see each other. So obviously you have some sort of intention here. You're asking me what's my intention because you have an intention. Just say that. Anyway, what is his intention for dating you? Ask that. Does he want your youth? Does he want your energy? Does he just want to be around you because you're young, fun, and pretty? That's fine, but know the reason. Does he want to be around you because it makes him feel good, it makes him feel younger, it makes him feel better? Again, that's fine if you're fine with it. But you have to know this. Whenever you're going into something, you have to know like what the pathway is. As spiritual women, you know that we are very big on setting intention. You always should have an intention to your day, to your hour, to what you're doing. So even in relationships, you need to be setting intentions. And you need to know what that person's intention is. Because some men might have bad intentions. They might just intend to be with you physically. And if you don't want that, you have to know that. And see if you're willing to put up with that. Or try to like play around it. But always ask, what is his intention here? Okay, so the next section is helpful tips. If you want to still proceed, proceed with caution. And if you want to, if you've gotten this far, I assume you're still with it. So helpful tips for if you are dating older guys. And I want to take a little break here to say that I do like to date guys that are older, but like not that much older. So the oldest guy I've dated, as in went on a date with, was 20 years older than me. Never again. First of all, I didn't know he was that old when we started like talking with each other. And I just went out with him because I said I would. But I don't recommend it. Honestly, he's not even the oldest one. I think I went out with somebody who was like maybe like 47. Different days. Those were different days. They are behind me. I'm not with it. Shira might tell you to date someone who's 60 years old. I'm not doing that. That's disgusting. I need to be attracted to you at least. And just know that's too old. I like to have a limit of like 15 years max. Really like 12, 13 years. But I like a 8 to like 12 year age gap. That's the good spot for me. I do not like to date men who are my own age. It feels like I'm dating a teenager. So he needs to be like at least 7 years older. If we're going into that, 13 years is probably the max. That's my limit though. You have to figure out your own limits. Okay, number 5, only acknowledge their behavior. Words don't count. Words do not matter when it comes to men. That is the conclusion that I have come up with. And many women before me have also. Seriously though, men be lying. They just be saying stuff. They really just be saying stuff. Like, you cannot believe them when they speak. Only believe what they do. Honestly, my biggest pet peeve is when a man talks. Stop talking. Do something. I don't know what it is. I don't like when men just be talking about stuff that they're going to do. I don't care. Do it. Or don't tell me about it. Like, it doesn't even matter what a guy says he's going to do for you. That doesn't even matter. You know what? I need to add a slide on here because that just reminded me. Hold on. Let me add a slide because we're missing something very important here. Okay, I add another slide because this reminded me. Yeah, don't worry about what he says. Because it's not about what he says, it's about what he does. It's about if he does the things he says he's going to do. Because I've had men tell me that they were going to do lots of things, but they never did them. Also, you have to actually uphold those standards that you place for yourself. Like, if you tell him, I don't care what you say, it's about what you do, but you still act like you are impressed by what he says, he's getting the wrong message. Let it be clear that you don't care. Which leads me to the next topic. Don't be impressed. Do not be impressed by a man because he has money or status or a house or cars or a watch or jewelry or anything. Don't be impressed with men because you know why? It doesn't affect you. I am not someone that is impressed by men because they are flashy or they show me what they have. Just because you have money, that has nothing to do with me because you're not spending it on me. That's the point. If he has something and he's offering it to you, using his resources to help you, then sure, you can let it be known that you are impressed and that you are appreciative of him, his resources, and what he's providing for you. But if he's not, and he's just like flashy, like bling bling, in fact, that's not attractive to me. Like, I don't care. Like, some men think just because they have something that you're going to be impressed just because of it and treat them differently. No, do not be impressed by men, especially if you're younger and you're not in the stage in your life where like you're buying a house but he has a house. Just be like, all right, as you should. As you should. You're 20 years older than me. You should have a house. As you should. You're 20 years older than me. You should have a car. You should have some savings. You should be doing well for yourself. That's not really impressive. Now, if you're helping me out with your resources, then okay. I'm impressed because you are actually stepping up and doing something to help me succeed. If you're not, then that has nothing to do with me. My motto, and maybe you should write this down so you remember it, what he has doesn't affect me. His money is not my money. Therefore, I should not care about it. Now, when his money becomes your money too, then yeah, you can care. But until then, it doesn't matter. Even if he is Jeff Bezos, it doesn't matter unless he is spending. Money does not equal all my love and attention. It just means you're doing well, which is great for you, has nothing to do with me until it does. Number 7, remind them of their big age. Sir, you are 52 years old. I think you must have forgot yourself. I think you must have forgot yourself, but we are not on the same level. I can have anyone I want, so I'm not going to deal with your BS. Sometimes they think that you are there just because you just love them so much. And look, you can love them, but you have to have something else with that love. Because what they say, love don't feed an empty stomach. I went out with a guy to the mall. We were walking around looking at stuff, and I'm gauging who he is as a person. We actually connected pretty well, and we got along really well. There was banter, there was chemistry. But when I asked him to buy me something, you know what he said to me? He said, no.
Emotional damage.
Absolutely wild to me. Because why do you think I'm here? First of all, why would you invite me to the mall? The mall. And not buy me anything? I am younger than you. Clearly, he forgot himself. And then at the end of the date, he tried to kiss me twice. Firstly, I obviously was not into it because once you say no to me, it's done. Once you say no to me, there is nothing else to say. That's a rejection. You rejected me. You rejected me. With your no, you rejected me. Okay, that's fine. But you think I want to kiss you? So he tried to kiss me and I was like this, and then I walked away. And he followed me like, okay, see you later. I'm like, okay. And he like, I pulled away and he's like looking at me confused. Like, oh, I can't get a kiss? I'm like, no. Why would you get a kiss? I never want to see you again. I never want to see you again and I'm blocking you. You just said no to me. He forgot himself. And some men, for some reason, don't understand that women who are younger than them are not just dating them just for the hell of it. Because you're not dating me for the hell of it either. You're not dating me just because you're actually interested in me. You're dating me because you want to get something from me because I'm young and you think I don't know any better. Absolutely wild to me that he thinks I would want to be with him after he rejected me. That was a slap in the face. Like, physically, that hurt. My heart, that hurt. You can't say things like that to me and then expect me to actually want you. Remind them of their age. Ask for what you want too. Ask them for what you want. And if they say no, then they're not the one for you. If you want money, say that. Because why else do you think I'm here? I'm heated just talking about that story. Because seriously, dude, what the heck? Ugh, so disgusting. Traumatizing experience. Have boundaries and actually follow through with them. Get yourself a piece of paper or your notes on your phone. Have a list of things that are your non-negotiables. Things that you are not going to do, not going to say, not going to entertain. And actually stick to them. Because when you stick to your boundaries, you are sending yourself a message that you respect yourself and that you listen to yourself. That you care about yourself enough to do what you say you're going to do. Just like we want men to follow up their words with actions, we want ourselves to follow it up with actions. So if I have a boundary, I'm not going to cross that, even if it's hard. If I say I'm not going to do this at this time, I'm not going to do that. If I say to him, I'm not going to do this with you unless you do that, you don't do this unless he does that. That is your boundary. You are firm on them. Even if the chemistry is there, even if he's cute, even if he has money, doesn't matter. You have a boundary. You have to stick to that for your own self-respect. That is a you thing. It's not even about him. It's about you. Have boundaries and stick to them, because one thing about a man is he'll always try it. I had a man a few weeks ago that I went out with. Whole night he's trying to touch me. I told him multiple times, I'm not a touchy person. I told him the first date, I am not someone that is into touching when I don't know someone and doesn't make me comfortable. I told him the second date, I'm not comfortable with all of that. Stop touching me. Whole date, he keeps trying to touch me, feel my arm, hold my hand. At one point, he like gesture here and like he like kind of pulled me in and like wanted me to like put my head on his shoulder. And I'm like fed up at this point. So I tell him, you want me to do that even after I told you I don't like that kind of stuff. And you know what he said to me? He said, I think I'm just pushing your boundaries. Man will try it if you let them. So stop worrying about being nice to them. Stop worrying about being nice to these men. He's not being nice to you. He's not respecting you. If you have a boundary and you tell him and he tries to cross it repeatedly, first of all, tell him in the moment that he needs to chill and that he's being disrespectful. After that, don't see him again. Because if you can't respect my boundaries, I can't feel safe around you. You are actually trying to push my boundaries and cross a line I told you you shouldn't cross, that you can't cross. It means that you don't respect me. So for my safety, I can't be around you. Because you're not someone that respects my no. If they can't respect your no, you need to leave. Number 9, on a lighter note, have more than one. As Shira says, have more than one, okay? One thing about her is that she's always going to tell you to have more than one. And I agree with this aspect of her philosophy, of her teaching. Have more than one so that you're not like mentally like fixated on him. If you only have one person, you're going to put too much attention on them. So have more than one person. Me, for example, I had 3 SPs that I was kind of like manifesting at that moment. Interestingly enough, they all had the same name. I don't know why, but my 3 SPs all have the same name. That's weird. Anyway, so I have 3 that I'm like rotating. If this one is irritating me, I'm like, let me go to this one. And if this one is irritating me, let me go to this one. I just keep going back. So that's like manifesting an SP. But if you are actually dealing with men in real life, have more than one. But this whole SP philosophy of like having multiple things that you're manifesting at the same time can go for dating. And in fact, I do think you probably should have more than one guy. For example, if one messes up, you don't feel the need to spaz on him and go bonkers. Because you're like, okay, let me go over here. I don't like that. Let me go over there. Have more than one. Have a few. 3, 4, as much as you can handle, one is really hard enough, but like at least more than one, so that you're not fixated on one person and he's going to feel that energy. You're not going to be needy or clingy because you have multiple people that you can just switch through. And again, as I will remind you, like I said in my short video on TikTok that I posted about this very same thing, you don't have to sleep with them. You don't have to sleep with any of them. Just because you're dating more than one man doesn't mean you're sleeping with them. We've forgotten what courtship was. Courtship was just like somebody's courting you. They're getting to know you. That doesn't involve sleeping together. It could if you want to, but it doesn't have to. And in fact, I don't really encourage it, because when you do engage with a man physically, it messes you up. It clouds your judgment. Lastly, find what works for you. Everything I said in this video is just my opinion, and you don't have to agree with it. In fact, maybe you should challenge it, because your life is not my life. So while some things might work for you, some might not, and that is okay. Have your own opinion, try what you want, establish your limits, establish how old of a guy you're willing to date and how young of a guy you're willing to date. Don't always follow what someone says online, no matter their credibility or their followers or whatever. It's about you, it's your life. Do what you want, find what works for you. I totally encourage it. That's how you should be. Always ask questions, always tweak things and mold it to you. That's okay. That's what we should all do. This photo is me right here looking quite thick, I must say. Looking quite thick, quite scrumptious. Okay? She is a cutie. She's a cutie. Alright, so that's all that I have for you for this video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe down below only if you want to. And follow me on my TikTok. I do post there every single day. I also post here on my shorts pretty much daily, but I like to post there. Subscribe if you like my content, and comment down below your experience with dating older men, especially if you are in your 20s or 30s. My audience is primarily like 20 to 30s, so I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Give us the tips, give us the tea. Let us know what you have found that works, okay? So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye. I look pretty even when I cry. I look pretty even when I cry.